Another fairly long-standing criticism of international negotiations on forests at the nation-state level has focused on the sort of forestry sector focus rather than looking more cross-sectorally.
Sure.
Agriculture, farming, all these other pressures which actually tend to be the main drivers of deforestation. Have you a view on that?
At the Prince's Rainforest project, this is exactly the analysis we've taken, is to look at the causes of deforestation, and if you cast around different countries and look at the broad picture, you realise that this isn't simply a question of cutting trees down in a more environmentally friendly way in terms of what the solution looks like. This is about global commodity markets and the global demand for commodities including soybeans, palm oil, beef, leather, coffee, rubber, all of these things that are traded in international commodity markets. The price and the pull from the consumer markets actually has a big bearing on incentives for land use change in developing countries. And so, there's a famous spike in the deforestation in Brazil about 5 years ago that appears to be linked to a sudden change in the soybean price going up. And so you've got really quite complicated global market pressures linked to patterns of consumption as well as land use in the developing countries that are actually economic issues. It's not about sustainable forestry and the way you cut trees and remove logs out of the forest. That's hugely important. But if you look at some of these big broad drivers, they're actually much more embedded in the process of economic globalization, economic issues effectively. Similarly, with some of the land use pressures coming from more local demand, with people moving into forest areas to make a living. And the conclusion we drew at the Prince's Rainforest project is if you want to solve that economic problem, which is basically what it comes down to, you need an economic solution. And so that's why we've been arguing not only for there to be international agreements on this subject, but also the means whereby tropical countries can receive income for keeping their forests, basically to be paid to be maintaining ecosystem services in the form of climate protection, biodiversity conservation, rainfall generation. Recognising all of those things are globally important, therefore providing global funds to combat these other global forces in the form of markets for animal feed, animal products like beef, or indeed vegetable oils from palm oil. The huge economic demand for that needs to be matched with another economic mechanism, and so that's where we've taken the discussion at the Prince's Rainforest project, is to look at an emergency economic response to give countries the space they need to be able to stop deforestation by investing in something else.
So it's primarily a financial mechanism, or?
Yes, but very much based on the analysis of what's causing deforestation. So looking at the situation in the different countries and then finding what we would argue is the logical solution.